Good evening. I would like to call to order the Community Activities Commission meeting of February 11th, 2026. The time is 6 p.m. My name is Nathan Stix. I'm the chair of the Community Activities Commission, calling this meeting to order. This public meeting is being recorded, broadcast live, and may be viewed later on the city's YouTube channel. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Hey, Amy, would you do the roll call?
Certainly. Commissioner Traeger. Here. Commissioner Van Atta. Present. Commissioner Lee. Here. Commissioner Gozarian.
Here.
Commissioner Kretzinger.
Present.
Vice Chair Flash.
I am here.
Chair Stix.
I am here as well. Thank you.
All present and accounted for.
Okay. Agenda approval. Is there any objection to approval of tonight's agenda as presented? Showing there are no objections, show the final agenda approved. Approval of our minutes. So you'll notice in, Christian?
I have corrections to the minutes.
Oh, on our minutes?
Yep. There's 3 minor corrections. One is in the December minutes. One is changing the name of Donegal Park so that it actually reads Donegal Park, and then switching the names of reporting commissioners regarding committee groups. So I've emailed those to Amy, and other than that, I have no objections to the minutes as presented.
Were there any other corrections? So that you have received them, we can mark them as approved as presented with the corrections. Okay? Next, on to public comment. Do we have anybody over the age of 15 doing public comment? Awesome. Nobody online? Okay. Okay, moving right along, Commissioner comments and celebrations. Are there any comments and celebrations anyone would like to share? Well, I'll go first. Sorry. Harvey, you got to be just a little quicker. I would like to officially, on behalf of the City of Newcastle, congratulate our Seattle Seahawks on winning the Super Bowl. And I don't know if you guys heard the story, but back in, was it 2014, we actually had a proclamation to change the name of Newcastle to Hawkscastle? Hawkscastle for a period of time. And I know another city in Washington just did that. So I was like, that was pretty cool. But anyways, I just want to congratulate our Seahawks on world champions. Harvey?
2 things. One, I want to recognize Chairman Stix for demonstrating modeling behavior and picking up trash and causing other people to want to pick up trash and things like that and deposit it, making Newcastle a little bit cleaner than when we found it. Also, I don't know if people noticed, but the solar-powered compactor bins, the ones by the library, and there's 3 other ones nearby, have been stuffed, I don't know for how long, maybe a year, and overflowing, and the little hatches don't work. And Chairman Stix' perseverance got them to be emptied. So thank you for that. And the other thing I'd like to make Commission aware of that affects parks and trails potentially is in Olympia there's a House Bill 2489 that allows campers on trails, parks, sidewalks, if there is no, no shelters available. The hurdle for a shelter is very high, and the police chief for Redmond thought that there were no shelters in his area that met that criteria. So it's just the first run of legislation. It will probably change 5 times, but it could cause a problem or could be an issue for us. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, with that, we'll go right into reports. Amy, events and recreation.
So, obviously, you can read through the report in more detail, but it highlights the Lunar New Year celebration on Sunday, March 1st. Just want to call out that volunteers are needed. We need, at minimum, about 36 volunteers, and we're a little bit more than a third of the way there, so there's still plenty of opportunities for volunteers, particularly if you want to come help set up. You'll be there with a primo spot for the opening Dragon and Lion Dance, which is the big community favorite. As you all know, the summer dates are confirmed and Q1 planning tasks are underway. Very exciting news for the first time this year. We did an open call for bands with a expression of interest form. We have over 60 bands who have completed that application and expressed interest in performing with us this summer. And we will do the same for food trucks. That opens up in late March. So if you have any favorite food trucks, we'll put a call out on social media. And that is what we did last year, and it was very successful and brought us some new exciting vendors. On the program side, just a reminder in there about Skyhawks that starts on March 11th, and a couple of volunteer activities happening with our partnering organizations. There's one with the Historical Society, which I'm sure will come up during the commissioner reports. And the Scouts also are working on some volunteer Saturdays in our trails. And if you have any opportunities that are open to the public from your community groups, please send them my way. Any questions, anything I didn't address?
One question on setup for RISDN on March 1st. What time do the setup volunteers need to be there?
The setup volunteers, we're all allowed into the building at 11 o'clock. So 11 to 1 is when setup happens. So we'll all be getting there at 11. Meaning like the Arts Council, myself.
And you need more volunteers for that.
Right now we need 8 at minimum volunteers.
And how many do you think you have? I know it's still early.
Oh, no, we need 10 and we have 2.
Okay.
So we need 8.
8 more. Okay. Would that be open to Scouts, Troop 4?
Absolutely.
Okay, I can let Scouts know.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Alrighty. That's it from me.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go into our community reports, and we'll start with Ed, since you're right next to me.
All right. So the Arts Council, of course, has been busy as usual. We had a great making beaded bracelets event in January. There were 95 people that showed up for that. So a huge showing for that. And then Amy mentioned the Lunar New Year celebration on March 1st. We have a art exhibition opening at the Newcastle Library for the month of March, and on March 4th we have an opening night. We actually had an overwhelming response of youth artists that wanted to have their artwork displayed at the library, so that was really great as well. And then we continue to have 3 ongoing monthly programs. 2 at the library are yoga for kids, paper cutting, and then we're continuing to have our film series at Aegis Gardens. So be on the lookout for those through our newsletter and other Facebook page, and in the city newsletter for some of those events. And then Free Little Art Gallery is still available at City Hall, and Poetry Wall at Lakebourne Park is always available to stop by and get some inspiration. So thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Ed. Harvey?
Troop 499 is planning, have their plans complete in March. They're working with Newcastle Trails and with Amy on trails volunteer work. And they are, and I'll bring this opportunity to them if they don't know, since they may not know about Lunar New Year. But we should hear more next month on their planning. Of course, they volunteered for the concerts and Newcastle Days already, so I think Amy's aware of that.
Thank you. Kim?
Nothing to report from Aegis, and Regency has 4 different happy hour nights this month. It's this month. February 14th is Arabian Nights. February 17th, Lunar New Year. February 20th, Mardi Gras. February 27th is Western. Those are from 3 to 4 p.m. And there's activities or entertainment at each of the events.
Thank you. Allison, library.
Newcastle Library, in addition to programs that they've been doing with Newcastle Arts Council, there are several things that they've got recurring activities, including storytime yoga with kids, toddler story time, which absolutely packs the garage, an English conversation session, a math club, reading buddies. They are also planning, along with our friends of the Newcastle Library, they are also planning to host a table at Lunar New Year. Newcastle Library also has a tech help for seniors, which is a recurring program. Friends of the Library reported that they hosted a successful holiday pop-up book sale and are long-term prepping for their big annual book sale.
Terrific. Thank you. Gabriella, Newcastle Trails.
No report.
Nothing to report. Christian.
Chamber of Commerce is having their after hours next Thursday, February 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Locochone. You can register on the Chamber's website through the events page. And then you can join Issaquah, Mercer Island, Newcastle, Sammamish, and Snow Valley Chambers for the 5-chamber breakfast Friday, March 6th from 7:30 to 9 a.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn in Issaquah. And the same thing, register on the Chamber's events website. The Historical Society is hosting the first of their cemetery cleanups this Saturday, February 14th. Drop in anytime between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. They offer light refreshments and encourage you to wear appropriate outdoor clothing and bring gloves and any of your favorite gardening tools that you might want to bring. I've done a few of these. It's a great opportunity to contribute to the community and get some exercise and fresh air and learn some local history. And my 2 kiddos have also gone and participated. So if the Bellevue, a history of East Side logging on Saturday, February 21st at the Lewis Creek Park Nature Center in Bellevue from 1 to 3 p.m. And that is all I have. Oh, and for anyone that might have questions, those can come during the second public comment period at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Christian. Happening at the Coal Creek YMCA, they have a community kickoff celebration for its annual fund drive, Monday, February 23rd, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at Aegis Gardens. It is open to members, and it is also open to city staff if they would like to attend. The Y is marking its 150 years of service, so it's a big year for them. March 3rd, they're having an evening packing for food packs for kids at the Coal Creek YMCA. Sign up will be available in the recap notes that get published tomorrow. And then on April 18th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., they're having Healthy Kids Day, open to the public, free for everyone. They want people to come and join for fun activities all through the branch and outside. And just as a reminder, please make sure you email me your report recaps tonight so I can get them into the packet tomorrow. Thank you. I'll even take paper drop off if that makes your lives easier. Okay. Okay, general business. First thing under general business, 8.1, flag ceremony discussion with Gabriella. Kick it off.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to discuss the potential for hosting a pride flag raising ceremony in Newcastle sometime in June. I was hoping to have it right outside of City Hall here. I was thinking about having it at an accessible hour, such as 6 p.m. and onward. Thoughts?
Question, what have we done for other flag raisings?
As far as I'm aware, nothing.
Like Veterans Day or any-
Oh, for other flag raising ceremonies such as Veterans Day, there was a small quiet ceremony during 11 a.m., I believe, here at City Hall. And it was open to all veterans, not necessarily just Newcastle residents, and it was very nice.
I can speak to sort of the history of different flag raising ceremonies. So historically during Pride Month up until the past couple of years, going back at least to 2019 or so, there was a ceremony with the mayor and staff, and it was during the workday, and it was recorded and documented on a social media, but there wasn't any sort of program that went with it. The Veterans Day ceremony was something that was introduced by former Mayor Clark, and he really took reins of it. It wasn't a city staff organized or a commission organized necessarily, so it framed around what his vision was. So it's on Veterans Day early in the morning, because many of the folks who participate then also participate in other activities. There's a Issaquah parade, there's a ceremony at Tahoma, and it's the flag raising, but also there's some speaking involved and some refreshments. And those are the only two flag related ceremonies that I'm aware of in my time here on city staff or on the commission.
So maybe to go into a little bit more detail, what I envision is that we send out a social media blast and potentially put it in a newsletter and invite the entire public to come as we raise the pride flag for whatever duration it might be. I like the idea of having refreshments if we are allowed to provide such things to the public. I also like the idea of formally inviting city council to come, as well as any other commissions that Newcastle has. And it could be just about an hour, an excellent opportunity for photos. And I vote for 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. because the lighting is nice.
I would like to affirm the accessible event time. I think that's responsive to community and people who would like to attend. So yeah, either evening time. I don't even know what day the first is. I suppose I should look at that. But yeah, if it can't be a weekend, then I would agree. Evening hours.
Would it be held at the flag?
Yes.
June 1st is a Monday, and as you see included in the packet is Resolution 2025-1042. It prescribes by council action last year that the pride flag will be raised during the month of June. So that will be June 1st through June 30th. That's not to say that a ceremony can't take place in another date, if June 1st is not the best, option. But the flag will be up from June 1 to June 30th.
And we don't raise and lower the flag daily, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, just being mindful of sunset time in case we did that.
I would vote to do June 1st. That way it clears up the Tuesdays for the Newcastle City Council meetings. And it's just a cleaner look to do it when it goes up. Unless anyone has any objections.
I agree with everything you've put forth so far.
Anything else?
That's everything.
Any other discussion from commissioners?
I'm just wondering what, are there supports that you need or thoughts that you have from us regarding planning or preparation or business partnerships or anything like that?
Do we need a subcommittee, maybe to help put that together?
Sure, a subcommittee is good.
Yeah.
So the next step will be to take this information to the city manager, who will take it to council, and then make sure that everybody's in sync. And then, go from there and plan out the program.
I have, if I may please have a quick question with regard to the, your suggestion about refreshments, if that's allowed. I don't remember if you used the word refreshments or something else, but is that something that would be appropriate or allowed if we were gonna have some sort of
I
snack?
think refreshments are doable. Because obviously when you're considering adding something new to the calendar that, it hasn't been budgeted for, but, there is some other budget for things that come up, like Arbor Day. So in terms of being allowed, there is budget for event, activities like this. I'm not aware that there's any health considerations.
Okay, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
was wondering, whether or not there was anything like that.
So we
Although
could
I just
put-
remembered we had a giant cake in the park one year.
Yeah, like we could potentially procure refreshments from someone who would be interested in
That
providing.
is most welcome.
Yeah,
But yes, that's most welcome. But I'm not aware that there's any reason why we can't provide the public with refreshments, like health code wise. No inspection, like, we don't have to notify the health department and get a permit.
I was envisioning potentially giving a local business an opportunity to cater the event or provide those refreshments if any businesses are interested in being involved.
That sounds great. And if we start talking about tents, like 10 by 10 tents, food carts, mobile food vendors, then we'd have to, then we have some permitting to do. And it might be beyond the scope of the parking lot. But yeah, refreshments are fine.
Do we need to propose a budget that you can go then to the city manager and say, we would like this amount?
I think I'll just bring what the commission has discussed. He'll discuss it with council, and then we'll go from there.
Good discussion for the subcommittee to have. They come up with some ideas for additional needs. Would there be the reading of the resolution at that ceremony?
Yes,
Okay, so you'd probably have representatives from council to do that?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I think you got a unanimous thumbs up to have that.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll talk more when we get to our subcommittee section. Guess what? Subcommittee assignments. Whoop, whoop. So I asked you guys to review the various subcommittees that we have identified. Working with Amy and Ed, we reprioritized them to the top. So the three at the top, sponsorships, fireworks and concerts, and Newcastle Days, are the big ones that Amy really needs to have support, additional support, to help make these events happen. And so what we want to make sure is we get those prioritized first and get everybody on the commission to sign up in some way, shape, form for those, and also determine if that subcommittee needs a lead. And what the lead does is helps to work with Amy to organize meeting dates, locations for things, takeaways. A lead just as somebody, a commissioner who can help to help drive that process. So make this kind of the easy one, sponsorships. Ed and I have worked on this for the past 3 years. Christian joined us last year. And really what the sponsorships require is providing advice, see if I can talk, on the program, which we're going to go over tonight, network and recruiting. So it's hitting the road, handing out the packets, meeting with the local businesses, and finding those opportunities, really selling up what the importance of sponsoring into the city and some of the benefits. And then, of course, assist with appreciation. So when it comes time to provide feedback and a big vote of thanks to the sponsors, that subcommittee is very helpful in working with Amy. Now, I put my name down first and I bolded it to be the lead. That doesn't mean I necessarily have to take that on again. But unless I get some really strong opinions that, no, I want to do that, I will definitely relinquish that. Ed's already agreed to work on the sponsorships. So I'm going to look around the room and see if we have a third. It really only takes 3. Beyond
Well,
3,
Chair Stick, sorry to interrupt. The subcommittees have to be limited to 3 because when you get to a 4th commissioner, then you
we
have
have a
to,
meeting.
yeah, you have to notice it. So subcommittees are 3 people. That's not to say that other people can't jump in and help where you're interested, but in terms of the official subcommittee that meets.
Or we invite the 4 and then say, sorry, you can't come this meeting, you can come to the next one. We'll switch off. So Christian, are you interested in working with us again, or would you like someone else to?
I would love to give someone else the opportunity, but if no one else wants to do it, I will take it on again. I'm really just hoping to horn in on fireworks and concerts this year.
I would be happy to assist with that box.
You are on.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so I will be setting up a meet in the next couple weeks. Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, the 3 of us can meet and you can meet with us. That does not constitute, right? It's if we have 4 commissioners. Check. Yes. Last year, we met at Starbucks. We reviewed the 100 or so businesses that we had identified. And we basically went through that list and said, here's how we're going to prioritize these we think are the repeat top. These are possibilities that could be good sponsors, do them next, and then just have them all divided out so we're not overstepping each other, and talk about a few deadlines. And then most importantly, once we get through the sponsor packet tonight with your input, getting the packet finalized so we get that out, printed, and copies into all of our hands so we can start getting that stuff handed out. But we've got this pretty well. It's a good oiled machine, and I think it'll be great this year. So thank you, Allison. Okay, fireworks and concerts. So we have fireworks on the 2nd, and we have 4 concerts. And so what we're looking to do is make sure we've got support and help to put those together. So why don't we start with the July 2nd concert, or fireworks and concert?
I'm willing to do fireworks and concerts again.
And I'm willing to do fireworks and concerts this year.
Sorry. Chair Sticks, just so you understand, that committee is on the planning side, and folks who sign up aren't obligated to come to any one particular concert. It's more the planning stuff, helping me narrow down the 60 applications. Creating a fireworks playlist, and if what is so inclined, putting it together as well. But it's more the planning stuff that I'm looking for here.
So with that, Kim's on, Christian's on.
I'd be happy to help Kim and Christian.
Harvey's on. Just to be sure you can carry a beat, you know, no?
No, I have rhythm deficiency syndrome. I can't dance either.
Okay, Newcastle Days. So this is beyond the all hands on deck at Newcastle Days. This is really that subcommittee group that gets together to really help support the planning and pre-preparation of everything. So who would like to be on the Newcastle Days?
I would like to be on the Newcastle Days Committee.
All right, Gabriella.
You can add me to that also.
Harvey. Good, okay.
Yeah, we've got it down to a science. It's just,
Yeah, we don't have to have three. And then if we get in a pinch and you can always say, I need more help.
yeah, if there's big,
Yeah.
I can always be a call in if you need ideas or whatever.
well, and certainly the fireworks and concerts committee, you'll be narrowing down bands and food, so there is some overlap there. So absolutely, unless you're thinking about mixing up Newcastle Days majorly, and at this point, I would kind of freak out about that. I think we've got it down to a science that will work well with two people, plus a robust fireworks and concerts committee.
Along the lines of what Kim said, I also can be available on like an ad hoc basis, especially to provide historical context, but yeah.
Sweet, thank you.
Kim, are you good to be the lead on fireworks and concerts?
That's fine.
Gabriella, lead on Newcastle Days?
Yes.
Okay, good job. Okay, then we've got a new subcommittee, one that Harvey presented to us at the last meeting, community engagement, which we still think could provide a lot of value to our cause. So Harvey, I've got you as the lead and now looking to add some commissioners to assist you. And I'll help you.
Great, great. The kinds of things I think the subcommittee would look at is different ways to communicate to our people that want to be engaged and just different ways to reach out to them in
Yeah.
addition to what we do already. So thank
Great.
you.
I would like to be considered as a backup or whatever,
You
or
got
third
it.
person or whatever for that.
Always looking for backup singers.
Not singing.
Hey, volunteers, looking for volunteers. Okay, I won't do that again. It's the meds. Okay. There were 3 events last year that are on here, but wondering if they still need a subcommittee to put these together. Because I think when the 3 of us at our planning meeting, we're kind of talking about some of these are already, events are happening. Things we may not need a subcommittee. So Amy, help me, like Earth Month. There's already,
So Earth Month was a subcommittee, if you remember, that was Commissioner D'Souza's real passion and wanted to put together a program that lasted the entire month. And then, the city does host, and staff take responsibility for some of those, but then she had put together some other programming, and then it sort of fell away, as interest changed, and obviously Commissioner D'Souza is, resigned. But for Earth Month, the city will be hosting its recycling event. I believe it's April 25th. We will commit to hosting at least one volunteer event. We may be looking at 2 volunteer events. And then I'm going to be introducing your all idea, the Tulips on the Trails, which is a pumpkins in the park scavenger hunt that is made for the trails. So that's already in the works. So in terms of Earth Month activities, city staff are taking care of those. Should the commission decide they want to explore something more robust than that, more lengthy than that, that may be a reason for a subcommittee, similar to the subcommittee on community engagement. It's for you folks to, put together something that you're interested in doing. But that's the history of that there.
Is Earth Month something Troop 499 has volunteered for in the past?
Maybe.
Could they? Would it be appropriate for me to suggest that to
So
them?
when those volunteer activities come out, the majority of our volunteer activities are all ages. So
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
Do we
So,
have dates for Earth Month?
no, we do not.
Okay, I'll let Cindy know that,
Yeah.
to put it on their planning calendar
Yeah.
with a TBD.
Yeah. And I think they have their own event planned for the end of April. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, volunteers.
so that was one that was formed last year to look at volunteer appreciation and how volunteers are appreciated. Is there something different than the appreciation dinner? So that was one. And then to keep going, the 30th anniversary is an example of a particular subcommittee that was formed 2 years ago to look at ways to recognize the city's 30th anniversary. So those are in italics because they're past examples for commissioners who are new to subcommittees that have been formed.
Well, one thing we talked about was, do we need a 250 anniversary subcommittee to help further promote the country's past? Or is it just something, as we are thinking about events and concerts and volunteer opportunities, we just keep that in the back of our mind instead of needing a committee to actually drive things? We were thinking, yeah, the verse.
I agree
second.
with the keeping it in the back of our mind and trying to incorporate it into existing events through existing subcommittees.
Good with
Yeah,
that?
being that there isn't specific budget or specific, like the intent was to couch it with what we're already doing.
So infuse concerts, Newcastle Days, fireworks with 250 verbiage and red, white, and blue apple pie. Okay.
Yeah, how do we tie that into those events, and are there specific things that would be appropriate to include?
And there were those like commemorative dates that were, a part of America 250 that we some of them just naturally are very close to like the Constitution Day is very close to Newcastle Days. So I think rather than looking to spread ourselves thinner, we probably would look at what Constitution Day activities could we do or incorporate into Newcastle Days.
Okay.
For volunteers, that's volunteer appreciation. Is that what that row is for? Yeah. Is there a committee needed for that, or do we? No. Okay. 'Cause-
That's what we were trying to, we had one a few years ago, but it's pretty much kind of on autopilot now, and I don't think we actually need a committee to help drive that.
Yeah, it was pretty good last year.
Seeing how you got in all the pictures, yeah, I think it went really well.
One or two. I got a shirt out of it also.
Okay, and then last is a flag ceremony. We thought that would be an appropriate subcommittee to have. I've got Gabrielle as the lead. Kim's hand is up, so you've got Kim on that, and you got Christian. And there we go. All right. If over the next weeks, months, you guys think of anything else, this is a living, breathing document. Add it to the planning calendar, something we can talk about in the future, but I think we have a pretty good first stab at our subcommittees, so thank you.
So I haven't run a subcommittee before. Do I set up meetings for the engagement one myself and bring in yourself?
Correct.
And, okay,
You provide refreshments, you,
steaks.
yeah, if there's any traveling, there's, hotel rooms that have to be aligned, but you have to pay for that because we have no budget for it.
Okay,
Very casual.
okay. I'll,
Chair Sticks, if I may interrupt too, so the top three, I'll drive those, because it's based on my planning calendar and I take responsibility for setting up a lot of that stuff, in collaboration with everybody. The bottom two are solely commission driven. You don't need to invite me. You don't need to, you can work on your own to set those up. But certainly if you need any support from me, that's what I'm here for.
So you're just kind of lassoing everybody that you want to get together and brainstorm and,
right, we can do it one of our garbage talk walks.
yeah. Garbage warriors. Okay. Next, this will go quickly, council retreat. So you all heard that city council is having a retreat on February 27th. It's Friday at the YMCA. They will be meeting from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. One of the things that they had thrown around was to have the commissions be able to come and participate for a period of time. And we don't really know what that is yet. I'm thinking maybe a half hour, but it hasn't been determined. First, I just wanted to see, is there anyone that absolutely just can't make February 27th? So I'd just like to let the mayor know who cannot be there.
I will not be able to make it as I will be out of the country.
So Gabrielle is a no. Anybody else that just can't make it? Okay. Are there people that can make it but can't do certain times?
My preference would be for the afternoon.
So Harvey can in the PM.
I can make the AM work, but the preference is for PM.
Okay. Are there any other limitations?
I would prefer it not to be between 11:30 and 12:30, or 2 and 3
So not good, we're 11:30.
to 12:30.
Hmm?
And between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Between 2 and 3 was a no. Okay.
Ideally.
We'll consider. Anybody else have any other limitations? Okay. As soon as I hear from Ari what the game plan is, or from Amy, the game plan for that, we will get that back out to you guys and let you know. I've also asked, what is it that they're looking for the commission to participate in or bring to the table? So more to come on that. Okay, last on our general business is the 2026 sponsorships. So in your packet, I had asked you to please look through the 2025 packet, and you might have ideas on many of the pages, but really focusing in on the sponsorship packages, so the 3 levels that we have here. And how you felt about that. And then the add-ons, that was new, was that new to 2025? Yes, that was new to 2025. And we had some businesses that were very excited about those because they knew they could get a little additional exposure with those things. So was looking specifically for any ideas, suggestions, things you loved, things you might think work better. And so we're just going to open it up.
I love the layout of this brochure, this a handout. I love it a lot.
Thank
So
you.
that's the thing I love.
I spent a lot of time redesigning it last year with the colors, the photos. We had an excellent volunteer photographer for 2024. So thank you, because that was a labor of love.
It's the way the information is presented that I think is pertinent to businesses is key too, where you say how many people it reaches. It's very clear. It's not like too wordy. The difference in the sponsorship packages with the check marks was nicely laid out. And yeah, the add-ons also, same feedback. Love it.
So I have a question, a potential comment. The concerts in the park, the 1,000 guests, that's per concert, right? So,
We say up to 1,000, I believe.
so I would change that to an aggregate of 4,000 then, as opposed to showing 1,000.
Okay. Like 4,000 total, not 1,000 guests each.
1,000 per concert or 4,000 total, something along those lines.
Okay. And fireworks on the lake is definitely outdated.
A lot more than that now, isn't it?
I'll have to speak to the fire department on that one.
Okay.
Related to what Ed mentioned, the logo on 3 event banners, that's really 5 event banners? I mean, it's one, did you mean 3 individual banners or one banner with all the things?
So there are 3 banners that go up over the course of the summer for over Coal Creek Parkway. There is a fireworks on the lake banner that goes up. Then that one comes down immediately afterwards, and the concerts in the park banner goes up. And then that one comes down immediately after the final concert, and then the Newcastle Days one goes up. There is a town hall banner, but it's not an appropriate place for logos, and that's a completely separate
Got it.
banner system.
The
And
concerts-
that's something that's dictated by council.
So the concerts is one banner with all 4
That is
listed.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
We thought this year we could add a special, because Christian really wants to drive the flatbed, that we could have a contest if the vendor is willing to reserve her in advance, that she would be the sole driver to go back and forth to move that person's goods.
Hey, if people are gonna pay extra money for it, then I'm in.
So there is this, as people have been brainstorming about what, among staff and community members about what they liked, what they didn't like, one thing that has been brainstormed as a possible add-on is branded golf carts. Because you see those 2 golf carts are zipping around the entire time at Newcastle Days, so that was one potential add-on. Offering a sort of special, offering sponsors a special loadout, because most people have to load out on their own. We just don't have the amount of volunteers who can stick around for that and or who sign up for that. And so one potential benefit on the chart that could replace or add is to, give them concierge loadout service.
You guys were all out there last year. How did you feel the in and out was working? Pretty seamlessly? Do you remember any?
One thing I've observed is people are, regardless of what they've been given ahead of time, they're confused about where they're supposed to go. They don't know the layout, they don't know, they don't know, or aren't just immediately comfortable with what they saw on paper before versus what they're seeing when they walk out onto the lawn.
And so are we able to quell that confusion? Because we know exactly where to help them go?
What I've experienced is once they get as far as coming to the information booth, yes, but it always seems to me as though it maybe ought to be a little bit more clear to the volunteers that are guiding them so that they have an idea before they get there. And also being able to do it more quickly because we know how their loading in or out takes up space and that somebody else is waiting to get there. So. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I have no ideas on how to cure those things. Because it seems to me as though if we're giving them good information, yeah.
Well, and I think some of it is you do the best you can, you think you've prepared it the best you can, and then when it comes right down to it, you're still going to have the, I don't know where I'm supposed to go kind of thing. We try and help them, and we'll get them there eventually.
If there's any way to monetize it, I'm happy to hear that right now.
Yeah.
But I do have some ideas on how, regarding that feedback, I did make some mental notes as to a couple things that we might do
I always have ideas about how to monetize things. Paying for priority load in and load out as part of your booth. Like you can upgrade your booth. You have a flat rate booth, you want priority load in and load out, you can pay an additional fee.
We could have a valet service over on the side. If you want to go pay for the extra, there's
Yeah.
the guys in the tuxedos, they'll take you out.
Something along those lines though. So that's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that idea of like of course, then I always am weighing like, what can we guarantee, especially because it is volunteer support that we require for like the load in. I think that's great, right? Like, oh, it would be awesome if we could say, you pay this much more and we will guarantee you get this volunteer support for load in. What I would worry is everybody's like, oh, if you don't set the price right, then everybody chooses that and we don't have enough volunteers to keep up with the pace of them all arriving at the exact same time. But it could be that, yeah, you're guaranteed someone to help with load in. If you pay this amount, if you pay this other amount, we can't guarantee that there will be volunteers there to load you in. Here's where you park.
I keep thinking if we had the Hazen, Newport, Liberty football defensive lineman at the valet lead-in, anybody needed help and paid the money, you got it. Those kids will carry your stuff right to your tent.
If we could get kids like that, that would be great. I do recall though that Newport goes straight to the car show. Newport football team goes straight to the car show.
Because that's where they've been assigned?
That's because that's who's recruited them, is what I've understood.
As a volunteer last year, I noticed, I thought my job was to put up tents, set up tables, put boxes on the tables, but we don't mention that setup in the Platinum one. Maybe that's something that could be mentioned, is if we want to do it, is that we set up their exhibit for them, set up their tables, their canopy. I think a lot of people couldn't do it themselves. There would be a one-person exhibitor, so we just helped them out. I had no idea if they were 5,000 or platinum or bronze or dirt. So that could be monetized perhaps.
One thing that surprised me last year, we had trouble brainstorming what to do for an add-on for the concerts in the park. And that's where we discussed theming each concerts and having a featured sponsor for that concert. That was the most popular choice of add-on.
And I would say, as the person announcing the concert, it was fun to have something to tie it, you know, it was easy to tie it in. Sometimes they wanted to be on stage, sometimes they didn't. So it was good. It worked well.
Yeah, it was very easy to do on my end as well.
Well, and it was nice that we were able to name them at the beginning, and then, you know, again, they get that title sponsor piece. So it really is something more, whereas at the end of the concert, we list everybody else. Is there something else at the concerts that we could add or offer to another, you wouldn't want to have a title sponsor, but because you have one, right? So how do you not keep the exclusivity?
If we didn't have the bronze level, how many fewer exhibitors would we have at Newcastle Days?
Quite a few. Bronze is by far the most popular. I didn't bring the figures, but platinum, last year we had 3 platinum. Gold, I believe we had 3 or 4. Silver, we generally have about 10, and like bronze, it's about 15 or so. I mean, we have quite a few that come in at the bronze level because they want a guaranteed spot at Newcastle Days. And the difference between just simply having a booth and being a bronze sponsor is you're guaranteed a spot, you get the full setup, and you get promotional benefits. Whereas if you come in just as a general booth, you get a spot, you get a table and 2 chairs, and if you apply to be a booth, you're not guaranteed. Because if we have 90 applications and we have 45 spots available, that's what we have.
Well, so there's a 5th category, which is just show up and see if you get it, sort of.
So
Oh, you do pay a fee.
they do. Oh, yes, absolutely. So with, for the benefit of our new commissioner here, so I believe we have about 70 tent spots, small amount or for city police, the event booth, and the remainders go out first to sponsors. Anyone who pays sponsorship money is guaranteed a spot if they'd like it at Newcastle Days. And not everybody chooses to do so. Some just want to be supportive of the city, and but a lot of people do choose it for that guaranteed spot. We open up in May a booth application for nonprofits, government agencies, businesses, handcrafters, artists, and there are different rates for that, and they submit an application, and then the Newcastle Days Subcommittee takes a look at all those applications, and based on the remaining spots that are available after the sponsors have confirmed their spot, then among the applications, the remainders are chosen.
Okay, and that was $100?
Last year, it was, the past couple of years, it was $150 for general business, $100 for a handcrafter artisan, and $50 for nonprofit or government agency.
Good. Thank you.
What about, do we have, I noticed at the fireworks on the lake, we have the welcome services where they're kind of the go-to place for guest essentials. Could that be something that we add on to Newcastle Days too? Because we always have like the day's schedule and so instead of maybe coming to us at the city booth, could it be, you're the vendor, you're the host? You provide the Band-Aids. Yeah, and yeah, there's whatever else they want to provide. The schedule could be there,
if not that, maybe the information booth with those things, with an actual sponsored by. Oh, but is that gonna conflict with having our Safeway and or QFC and Starbucks donuts and coffee? That's a question, or something to consider.
Certainly, this is a living thing. I mean, the subcommittee will have to finalize this, and ultimately, we'll update everything, the brochure, the application and whatnot. But if you do have other ideas,
So last year, correct me if I'm, sorry, Kim, last year I think we were hitting the road like April 1st. Does that sound about right? So we have a little bit of time, and we got to get this back to Amy so she has time to go to print and get the packets put together. So I think we should maybe shoot for mid-March.
well, if anybody has any feedback, that really needs to happen by early March, so
Yes.
that I have enough time to.
Oh, I think we should have any feedback lined up, hopefully by the end of the month. End
Yes.
of this month. Because then I'm gone.
And then I will plan my schedule accordingly with the subcommittee and when the subcommittee's gonna hit the road.
Riffing off the idea of the branded golf carts, what if you branded Public Works? Because they get Newcastle Days shirts, right?
We're all volunteers.
And we have all the logo sponsors on ours, like the various volunteers that are running around. But you specifically can buy the Public Works shirts. The high vis, so all the Public Works, so you specifically get that. Everybody else is wearing all the other platinum, yeah.
Could have people
Or you get
sponsor
it
our
like the name
extra
across
trash
the
cans.
back like a football player.
Just wearing their swag, you mean? Just wearing their
Sponsor extra
swag.
trash cans.
Yeah, Kim, I was gonna say you can put a sticker on
And-
the back. with the
And
logo.
honey buckets and all of that stuff is sponsorable. And you can put signs on the inside of the doors in the honey buckets where you have your audience captive.
Anything else? Let this turn and burn, keep thinking. It's living, breathing. Email me, Ed, Allison, if you've got thoughts over the next few weeks. Like I said, let's shoot for hopefully the end of the month that we can give Amy. This is where we're at with a pretty much final document. Good? Anything else? Appreciate your feedback, doing your homework. Next up is election of chair and vice chair. So you guys know all the background of why we're having an election tonight?
'Cause
No,
we're supposed
yes,
to every
no.
2 years, every even year.
Christian, continue, tell more.
We're supposed to elect a new chair and a vice chair when a new mayor and deputy mayor are elected. And I don't think we've necessarily been doing that, so we're doing it now, because Scott's on top of things and told us what's up.
And the reason we didn't do it at the beginning of our meeting is because at the beginning of the council meeting, there was no mayor and there was no mayor and deputy mayor in place. So they had to do the elections at the beginning. We thought it more appropriate, since there was a sitting chair and vice chair, that we hold our meeting and do the elections at the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Amy to officiate.
All right, commissioners, the process is as follows, in that first we will take nominations for chair. So any member of the commission is able to nominate another commissioner. that commissioner can accept or decline that nomination. Each commissioner can only nominate one person in a cycle. So, say for instance, I was on the commission, I can't nominate Tom Brady, and I can't, nominate Drake May in the same. I can only nominate one of them for MVP. Sorry. Little digression. So with that, the floor is now open. If any commissioner would like to nominate another commissioner to serve as chair for the next 2 years.
I would like to nominate Nathan Sticks.
Do you need a second?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think
I
so.
don't think you do.
But Commissioner Sticks needs to accept or decline that nomination.
Yes.
Any other nominations?
Do we just have to, is it just the chair, or? are we
Just for
going-
the chair,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
just for the chair. Sorry, I'm multitasking right now. Any other nominations to the floor? All right, in that case, I do have to have you complete the ballots, and this is what I was furiously doing, is writing in the name. All right, the vote is 7-0 in favor of Commissioner Sticks serving as chair. Congratulations, Chair Sticks. Now, our next up is vice chair. So, are there nominations to serve as vice chair of the commission?
I nominate Ed Flesh.
Commissioner Flash, would you like to accept that?
I would gladly accept that.
Are there any other nominations on the floor, or you want to bring to the floor? All right, commissioners. I will give you your ballot if you could write in add flash, because I cannot write that fast. That would be, and then vote. Alrighty, the vote is a 7-0 for Commissioner Flash to serve the next 2 years as your commission vice chair. Congratulations, Vice Chair Flash. The end.
And thank you both.
I'd just like to thank the Academy and the voting public. All right, thanks, you guys. Do we have any additional public comment?
No, we do not.
I do believe we do have a audience member who
My
would like.
apologies, I could not see behind my giant computer.
Please
Yes.
make sure you turn your mic on by pushing the red button. Tell us your name and what neighborhood you live in, please.
My name is Ainsley Jensen, and I live in Newport Woods. I have a question about the something Hawks thing. What is it?
Oh, Hawks Castle?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Amy could provide more historical context.
Certainly. So my understanding is in 2014, when the Seahawks were headed to the Super Bowl the first time against the Broncos, a lot of cities changed their names. Like you may have seen this time around, I think it was Hoquiam changed their name to Hoquiam, and Issaquah changed their name to Twelvesika. So Newcastle decided to change their name to Hawks Castle. I was not aware that it was a council action, but certainly city council can take action and make a resolution to say we're gonna call this name. I thought it was just a renaming on social media, where every time you saw Newcastle, they replaced it with Hawks Castle for the time leading up to that Super Bowl.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, and thank you.
Okay.
All right, our planning calendar. So for the month of March, right, currently we have 3 things on the planning calendar. Russ Segner with Newcastle Historical Society would like to do a presentation for the commission. I think you're putting together something with the Newcastle Youth Council to come do a presentation or just come meet with us. And Amy will be providing a parks overview, part 4. So we have a pretty light schedule for March. If you have anything else that you would like to have us add, make sure you go onto the planning calendar and feel free to add this. Still under TBD, we've got some future topics, but nothing that we think needs priority right now. So until we have a little more information from Brendan with some of the park regulations, so. Okay,
When are we going to talk about this TBD name change?
when are we gonna talk about it?
Yeah.
Well, March would not be a good month because I won't be here, so we could put it on for April.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good plan? And for the benefit of the new commissioners, I'll be able to provide some of the history behind the variations of our name and history of how this commission became, evolved. Okay, so I'll put March for that. Oh, sorry, April. Thank you. It's the meds. Okay. Anything else off the top of your head? And again, this is a living, breathing document, so feel free to pop into SharePoint and add things as you feel necessary. Our next CAC meeting, again, is March 11th. Vice Chair Flash will be leading the meeting as I will be absent from that meeting. You still good with that? Okay.
I see
Gabrielle?
something on upcoming city meetings, February 24th, CAC agenda meeting. That's just between the chair and the vice chair, correct?
So thank you. Those are our reoccurring agenda planning meetings. So that's a good target if you've got things you would like us to make sure that we can discuss at those, have them on the planning calendar. So we use that as a guide when the 3 of us are on those calls to put the agendas together. So we meet usually on a Tuesday evening, and by Friday, it's usually sent to Jane. Is that-
I sent it, I sent it to Director Westman within about a week to
About a
make
week.
sure that she has enough time to notice it. But we give ourselves about a week lead time in case there's anything that I need to prepare for the meeting. Or, if Brendan needs to prepare a presentation or whatnot. We need that lead time to be able to, after the three of us have hashed out what's gonna be on the agenda, to make sure that staff and everybody are able to get what is needed to go into the packet so that it's noticed properly. That was a really long answer, I'm sorry.
And so the planning calendar is also very useful just to throw ideas out there. You don't necessarily have to have a good strategy or have the whole process thought out, but it's just a placeholder. And then, we can get and see it and go, oh, Gabriella wants to have something. And then we can reach out to her separately, find out more details. And then, of course, ask the million-dollar question, is it pressing? Can it wait? Or is it something we need to take action on sooner than later? Okay. Is there anything further, anything anybody wants to bring up? With that, I will say this meeting is adjourned at 7:16 PM. Thank you.